Scams! Sa sobrang sakit, lalo na pag na-scam ka, papakanta ka na lang ng... Guys, a lot of you have been commenting about your construction experience, yung tipong nasa-scam kayo. So, I decided to make a video today of the top 7 scams that we encounter regularly. Kahit kami mga contractors, nasa-scam din kami. In the comment section, nasasad ako pag nababasa ko na kayo ay na-scam sa isang mga contractor. So, today, we are going to talk about the top scams in the Philippines and what you can do to at least avoid it, or if not, be warned about it. Now, hindi naman perfect kahit kami dito sa construction industry, kami mismo nasa-scam din kami. I had several experiences. So, these things that I will be sharing to you are coming from personal experience. Ang sakit talaga pag na-scam. First up, and the most common, is the ghost. Itong ghost na to ay palagi nating nakikita because they ask for huge down payment. Sobrang mura ng price na ibibigay nila sa inyo. And usually, pagkatapos nyo mag-down payment, bigla silang mawala. Di ba ang sakit? Binigay mo na lahat. Yung savings mo, yung oras mo, yung time mo. Tapos bigla ka na lang hindi papansinin. Kahit tawag ka ng tawag, hindi ka pa rin pinapansin. This happens all the time to me, especially with light block. Meron din kami mga customers na after namin mag-deliver, hindi na kami binabayaran or hindi na namin makontak. So, meron akong mga suggestions, especially sa construction side, kung paano nyo malalaman posibleng magiging ghost sila. Number 1, they have extremely low bids. Sobrang mura ng bid nila na parang natitempt ka na sila na ang kunin. So usually guys, if it's way more than what the other contractors are offering you, you should be suspicious. It is most likely too good to be true. Now, what you can also do is mitigate that by not giving a large deposit. Ito kadalasan humihingi sila ng mga 50% down payment. Guys, ang standard is just about 20 to 30% down payment. You can also check their references. Ano ba talaga ang mga past projects ng contractor nito? Hihingi ka sa kanila ng company profile. And then, when you get that company profile, titingnan nyo, pwede kayong mag-site visit sa mga past projects nila. Just to be sure they are legit. And you can also check sa SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, just to be extra sure. Scam, alien. Come and go. Second, si Mr. Collect ka dyan. So, etong type of scammer is yung tipong collect nang lang collect at ikaw, di mo alam kung ano dapat ang saktong pamaraan ng pag-collect, ay bayad ka lang din ng bayad. So supposedly, it should be progress billing. So pag nakita natin na may progress na yung bahay mo, yun ang ibabayad mo in terms of that percentage. So you don't pay a lot upfront. You don't pay too much ahead so that hindi ka nagbabayad ng work na hindi pa ginawa. If you watched our previous video, I'll put it here, meron tayong sinasabi na kailangan may 10% retention. And this is industry standard. So you ask to get 10% retention, meaning if you have, for example, a 10 million na contract, hahawakan mo yung 1 million hanggat sa matatapos yung project, mabibigay na niya yung tamang trabaho and tamang quality na gusto mo before mo ibigay yung last na bayad. Next, we have yung tinutu-time ka. Parang love story lang. Ito yung tipong mga bidders na alam nilang nagpapabid ka ng 2 o 3 tao. So ang gagawin nila, they will call all the other bidders. So sasabihin nila, pare, itong 10 million contract masyadong mababa sa akin. Magkano yung sa'yo? So tatanungin sila, magkukuntsaba. Instead of giving you 10, I'll call up the other contractor. Sasabihin ko, pare, pataasan mo yung bid mo. Gawin nating 15 million. Tapos bigay ko sa'yo 2 million. Kasi instead of bibigay ko sa kanya 10 million, gagawin kong 13 million. Gets? So, ang nangyayari is that napamahal kayo because alam ng mga contractors kung sino yung iba na hinihingaan nyo ng quotation. So, when dealing with multiple contractors, and that's the right way to do it, you deal with a lot of contractors so you have options, you make everyone private. You don't tell yung mga contractors kung sino pa ang ibang mga contractors na kasama sa bidding to give them less chances of actually kontsaba. Next, we have Mr. Forgetful. Yung palaging nakakalimot. Ay, sorry sir, nakalimutan ko yung isama sa quotation. Pwede bang pa-change order? Padagdag na lang ng kontrata? Guys, usually, lahat ng nasa contract should be included, and then everything that is listed down that is not included should be there. And yung buong structure, especially when you're dealing with a lump sum contract, dapat kumpleto na yan. All the essentials kasama na. Hindi siya yung tipong, andito na yung bahay, ito yung quote, tapos sasabihin ko, ay nakalimutan ko yung hagdanan. The good contractors will say, that was my mistake. That's why I won the bid in the first place, because mura yung presentation ko. So, I'll be the ones to accept that loss. That's a good contractor. Yung pangit na contractor is, magbibil ako, posible pang dagdagan ko, or sasadyain kong itago ito, tapos i-charge ko after the fact. That's why when you're reviewing two quotes, kailangan i-side by side nyo yan. Tapos, line by line, kasama, hindi kasama. Ay, ito hindi niya sinama yung tiles. Bakit kaya? Kasi dito nakikita ko may tiles. So at least nako-compare nyo at hindi kayo naloloko sa mga additional works later on. And itong next one is very close to my heart because ito siya ang tinatawag natin na kickbackser. Ang corny. It's when mga professionals such as engineers or yung mga specifiers or even sometimes architects are corrupted by the system at humihingi sila ng kickback. Humihingi sila ng percentage of everything you buy. And they don't ask it from you. They ask it from the supplier. So for example, ako may-ari ako ng light block. Pwede kong sabihin sa engineer doon or architect, bigyan kita ng piso kada block. I-specify mo lang ako para makuha ko yung project na yan. I say this is very close to my heart because this is something I'm very, very much against. We don't do that at Light Block because feeling ko ang dami ng mga ethical erosion na nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. But we have lost a lot of accounts because of this. Kadalasan mapapansin nyo to pag hindi nyo na gets yung engineer kung bakit ba pinupush niya talaga tong product na to? Bakit ba ito talaga yung favor niya? Sa tingin ko naman mas maganda tong product na to. Bakit? So that's when you get suspicious. Ito din ay paminsan nangyayari sa mga interior designers, architects, again, engineers, na paminsan binibigyan sila ng 10% cut. Next, we have yung parang Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson, yung may crossover moves. Yung tipong binablind ka na lang. A type of scam that happens a lot, especially when you're dealing with materials only. Ang ginagawa nila is that pag nag-order ka, for example, 10 pieces, 10 links of bakal. Ang gagawin nila, especially if you don't check on-site, is that dadaan sila ng ibang project, i-drop off nila, or dadaan sila sa scrapyard, ibebenta nila yung bakal, and then pagdating sa site, instead of 10, 8 na lang ang dumating. So this would happen if you don't have engineers to check sa site. Also, if you are doing a materials-only contract. So, if you're doing a materials-only contract, ang kadalasan kasi ng mga contractors, wala na silang pakialam kung ano yung na-consume unless you have an agreed upon amount of consumables beforehand. Pero kadalasan kasi nakikita ko is that, sige, labor-only lang ako nabibili ng lahat. Ang mangyayari dyan is that, nanakawin yung semento, yung pintura, yung bakal, and it will get diverted somewhere else. Nakakasad that this is happening, and it is happening to us also as contractors. This happened to us about 2-3 years ago. We called up a scrapyard, tapos sabi namin, send a truck, we have a lot of scrap. This was about 100 or 200,000 pesos worth of scrap. Please get it, tapos pa-weigh namin para mabenta namin sa inyo. So, dumating yung truck. Load namin lahat. Tapos, diretso, lumabas. And then, mga 30 minutes to an hour later, dumating isa pang truck. Sabi nila na sila yung kukuha ng scrap. Sabi namin, yung kasama nyo pumunta na dito. Anong nangyari? Sabi nila, ha? Wala po kaming ibang kasama. Kami lang. Tawagan niyo yung office namin. So what actually happened is, may misdoing somewhere in the process. It was either on the scrapyard side or on our side na may kakuntsaba. Ginawa nila is that they got there ahead of time and they assumed the identity of the scrapyard company and nakuha nila yung buong hundreds of thousands of scrap. After that, we implemented a strategy na pag may kumuha ng scrap, tatawagan muna namin, ito ba yung tama na plate number, and then may sasama from our end, kasama sa truck. So we were too trusting on that side and yun yung nangyari. Yeah, ang sakit. Ang sakit talaga. Last but not least, ay tatawagin nating mga Iron Man. Mga boy bakal. Mga anything bakal are easily sold because of scrapyards. These are the types na palaging ninanakaw, binibenta. So for example, gagawa ka ng hollow block. And ito yung bakal mo. Meron yung mga layers, di ba? This is the second layer of hollow block. Ang gagawin ng medyo corrupt na contractor or kung yung tao nila corrupt is hindi sila dadagdag ng bakal dito. Ang gagawin nila is they just push this up. Tapos wala nang bakal dito sa ilalim. Pero pag nag-site inspection ka, kunwari, kumpleto pa rin yung bakal mo. Meron ding undersized, yung kulang yung kapal ng bakal ang ibibigay nila instead of 10mm, gagawin nilang 9mm. So even those little things they actually get. So make sure to get trustworthy contractor. And again, if the price is too low, be very, very suspicious. Anyway guys, that's it for today. A quick short video of top scams that may happen. I hope this has been an eye-opener for you because we have big amount of money involved whenever it's construction. So ang daming mga opportunities to actually be unethical. So make sure you're hiring the right professionals. Ask around. Look at the people that they have built projects for. Call those people. Ask if they were happy. Ask if there were problems. Find people that are trustworthy. Huwag yung mga pakyaw-pakyawan. And good luck. Mahirap talaga magpatayo ng bahay, guys. But it is well worth it, especially when you're happy with the end result. So again, I hope this has been helpful. I hope that in my little way, I can help you avoid some of these problems. And yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.